Hello everyone, welcome to What's That Plant Story. This is a series of myths, fairy tales, folk tales that have plants in them or that are specifically about plants in some way. And I found this book at the library, the Brooklyn Public Library, called Tales of Korea, 53 Enchanting Stories of Ghosts, Goblins, Princes, Fairies, and More. This is a collection of traditional Korean stories translated by James S. Gale, and they were originally written or collected by Im Bang and Yi Ryuk. And today I'm going to read from the story The Grateful Ghost. It is often told that in the days of the Koro dynasty, AD 918 to 1392, when an examination was to be held, a certain scholar came from a far distant part of the country to take part. Once on his journey, the day was drawing to a close, and he found himself among the mountains. Suddenly, he heard a sneezing from among the creepers and bushes of the roadside, but could see no one. Thinking it strange, he dismounted from his horse, went into the brake, and listened. He heard it again, and it seemed to come from the roots of the creeper close beside him, so he ordered his servant to dig around it and see. He dug and found a dead man's skull. It was full of earth, and the roots of the creeper had passed through the nostrils. The sneezing was caused by the annoyance felt by the spirit from having its nose so discommoded. The candidate felt sorry, washed the skull in clean water, wrapped it in paper, and buried it in its former place on the hillside. He also brought a table of food and offered sacrifice and said a prayer. That night in a dream, a scholar came to him, an old man with white hair, who bowed, thanked him, and said, on account of sin committed in a former life, I died out of season before I had fulfilled my days. My posterity too were all destroyed. My body crumbled back into the dust, my skull alone remaining. And that is what you found below the creeper. On account of the root passing through it, the annoyance was great, and I could not help but sneeze. By good luck, you and your kind heart, blessed of heaven, took pity on me, buried me in a better place, and gave me food. Your kindness is greater than the mountains, and like that blessing that first brought me into life, though my soul is by no means perfect, yet I long for some way by which to requite your favor. And so I exercised my powers on your behalf. Your present journey is for the purpose of trying the official examination, so I shall tell you beforehand what the form is to be. And the subject. It is to be of character groups of 5 in couplets. The rhyme sound is pong, and the subject, peaks and spires of the summer clouds. I have already composed one for you, which, if you care to use it, will undoubtedly win you first place. It is this. The white sun rode high up in the heavens, and the floating clouds formed a lofty peak. The priest who saw them asked if there was a temple there, and the crane lamented the fact that no pines were visible. But the lightnings from the cloud were the flashings of the woodman's axe, and the muffled thunders were the bell calls of the holy temple. Will any say that the hills do not move? On the sunset breezes, they sailed away. After thus stating it, he bowed and took his departure. The man, in wonder, awakened from his dream, came up to Seoul, and behold, the subject was as foretold by the Spirit. He wrote what had been given him and became first in the honors of the occasion. By Im Bang.